Thursday, and welcome to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, or YouTube. No, TNC Sports Talk. I'm sorry, I get those things mixed up all the time. My name is Justin. Today is Thursday, March 26th of 2026, and I'm excited to be here because the wait is finally over. Yes, I tell you that because Major League Baseball is back. The Cincinnati Reds are back. The Reds' legs are back, and we have something excited to talk about, excited to get excited for the springtime. You know what? I woke up this morning. It rained this morning, I'll tell you that. And it's interesting because the weather says it's going to rain in the morning. It's going to clear up for the Fenway Market Parade. Then it's going to be nice and sunny. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be 80 degrees come first pitch. And then it's going to be raining tonight into tomorrow. And I'm just like, man, God is good. No, God has given us just a few hours today to enjoy some baseball, enjoy the warm welcome of spring, the smell of the fresh cut grass, the smell of the Conn's hot dogs boiling up at Great American Ballpark, the peanuts, the Cracker Jacks, the ice cream, the kids running around, the atmosphere, the porch swing, and the overlook of the Ohio River, as well as the perfect view at Great American Ballpark, no matter where you sit at, the concourse, the people, the concessions. Everything is so great this time of year because it's baseball season. And it backs up such a rich history for the Cincinnati Reds. They get the honor, they get the privilege, whether they're good or not, to have every first game of the new year, every year, gets to take place at home, at Great American Ballpark. It's a day where you don't go to any other city. You don't go to any other town and talk to the fans and say, oh, this is a designated holiday. Maybe so for the Yankees, but, might as well be for the Dodgers. But, yeah, it's big in other places, but 29 other ball clubs don't carry out parades. 29 other ball clubs don't start at 4:30 in the morning with your local news station. Like, this is a monumental day each and every year, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy just to be able to watch it. Now, for me, I'll tell you my day. I'm going to sit here. I'm getting some work done. Okay, the first games are about to get underway. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But I'm going to watch it on my nice big 77-inch TV. I'm with my surround sounds on. The kids come home about 20 minutes afterwards. Then the wife comes home towards the end of the game. I'm going to watch the game from my luxury of my home. I got the Reds TV up. I know it's going to be on Fox 19. But I got my Reds TV going. I got my MLB, TV from T-Mobile. Thank you, T-Mobile, for providing that. And I'm ready to go. I'm going to get my favorite drink. I'm going to make my favorite meal. I'm going to sit my happy ass on the couch and enjoy some baseball. Win or lose is going to be a fun day. This is the time of day or time of the year where we could forget about what took place for the last 3 months. Right? And maybe that's the reason why I'm so excited to get to today. The buildup is so great. Because let's face it, the Bengals didn't go to the playoffs. The Bengals had to sit and watch the postseason at home. And so from January was really a down period for Cincinnati fans. The Bearcats basketball team didn't go anywhere. Bearcats football team didn't go to the college football playoffs. What was there to talk about in the month of January? Well, it wasn't the Bengals. Maybe it was all the things the Bengals could change. or should change. It wasn't about a successful season. It wasn't about how records were broken. There wasn't much of a football conversation. As a matter of fact, we were stuck changing the narrative of the month of January to fill in 5 hours a day, 30 hours a month, or 5 hours a week, 30 hours a month until we got to February. Days counted down. Spring training began. And as a person who talks about sports, yeah, we're engaged. We have to be engaged, but you, the listeners, could care less. While we were dealing with all 7 seasons within a 6-week time period, Cincinnati Reds were out in Arizona where it was nice and 85. As a matter of fact, they had to push a couple of daytime ball games to the afternoon because it was really hot in Arizona and hitting 95 to even 100 degrees in the month of March. But I say here that today is the day that we return back to baseball. We return back to the sport that carries us through the summertime. When I think of baseball, I think of Mother's Day. I think of Father's Day. I think of Labor Day and Memorial Day and 4th of July. I think of summertime under the sun. Summer fun under the sun. I think about the boys in red, that baseball's back. You get outside and go play. Toss the ball around. Football's fun. Basketball's fun. Hockey's fun. Don't get me wrong. Wrestling is fun. That's all year-round sport. But nothing compares, in my opinion, to baseball. Baseball, baseball, baseball. Whether your team loses or wins, this is what we build up for every year. And it goes with the season. So I gotta just want to mention here real quick for those who are maybe at the Findlay Market Parade, maybe those who are at going to the Great American Ballpark. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crowded. There's going to be kids, adults. People are going to be drinking. All I really want a disclaimer here is to say, please be safe. Please be considerate. And please be responsible. It's so easy in such a crowded place that things get away and people drink a little too much or they get a little too impatient as the temperature rises because it's supposed to hit up to 80 degrees today. Very nice for baseball. But please be safe today. That's the only thing I could wish for you here today. On our show, we have our Cincinnati Reds t-shirt on. It's nice and black. I was going to wear the red one, but I wanted to choose the black one today, maybe Monday. I got my couple of cups out here. My beverage is in my Cincinnati cup when I went out to the game last year. I am a fan of collectible items. And I know you've heard me talk about this on a program before, but I go out there, I'll collect cups, especially the ones that you could reuse. This one was the gray one. Just drinking my Sprit over here. But I did that. Loved, they have a couple different ones. I think I ended up getting the other one. I don't know where it's at, but I'll have to pull them out. I have those Trevis cups. Right? The ones that are or clear that has the Reds design. I think I have 2 of them. I'll lay them out. I'll be using them throughout the year. And then at UDF last year, they were giving away classical cups that included the Big Red Machine. So there's a couple different ones on there, but I was very, dedicated to get the Pete Rose Cup. That was at UDF over last year. And so whenever things like this comes out, I'm collectibles. Tell my wife I have a large Home Depot box in our storage closet that's filled with nothing from cups from when I went to the WWE, when we went to the NFL and the Bengals, the Reds every year, Padres, you name it, I collect it, and it's just one of those traditions. I don't I'm not really a big adequate person about baseball signings, and maybe I should be, or baseball bat signings or signings. It's the cups, it's the magazines. When I want to head out to the pro shop and get my opening day magazine, if someone's out there, get me the magazine. I'll pay you. Just send it to me my way. But I would like to get myself those magazines and see how the season changes throughout the course of the year. But that's enough of me ranting on getting ready for opening day. A lot of things taking place. I got a couple of things to share with you today, but today is a baseball day. Okay. It started off yesterday where the Yankees beat up those San Francisco Giants 7-0. And it didn't come at the cost of the long ball. And matter of fact, we didn't see a lot of noise coming out of Aaron Judge. We didn't see a lot of noise coming out of Giancarlo Stanton. Let me see if I could pull it up here. We gotta navigate through this. Let's go back here. Let's go to scores. I can find that article here in a moment. So yesterday was opening night. It was Logan Webb versus Max Fried. And the Yankees put up 7 runs on 10 hits while they shut out the Giants and pick up the first one of the season. And that's just gut-wrenching. It's tough to pick up the first season loss of the year. Okay. Fried goes 6 1/3 with 2 hits. He walked a batter with 4 strikeouts. Logan Webb, very tough outing. He was able to get through 5, but he gave up 9 hits on 7 runs, 1 walk, but he also struck out 7 batters. There was no home runs in yesterday's game. Chisholm Jr. had a stolen base. It was a thrown by Patrick Bailey, and he ended up overshooting it and ended up going into center field. But it was just a hit. I mean, Aaron Judge went 0 for 5. Bellinger went 1 for 5. Stanton went 2 for 4. It was really all the other parts of the lineup that you did not expect to contribute to yesterday's win. And, it's, it starts off the season. One thing that I will say that, you reference back to yesterday is that it's any given day. It's, today starts a 0-0 record. Whether we like the Reds or I think highly of the Reds are going to the playoffs this year or not, they have an equal chance just as long as all the other 5 teams in the division, the other 15 teams in the league, and then the other 15, 30, 29 teams in the entire Major League Baseball organization. So today, what we're looking at here coming up following our show at 1 o'clock, we have the Pirates and the Mets at 1:35, followed by the White Sox and Brewers at 2:10, the Nationals and Cubs at 2:20, the Twins and Orioles at 3:05, the Red Sox and Reds at 4:10, the Angels and Astros at 4:10, the Tigers and Padres at 4:10, the Rays and Cardinals at 4:15, the Rangers and Phillies at 4:15. At 8:30 will be the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, and then to wrap things up tonight, the Guardians and the Mariners at 10:10. This is an interesting opening day schedule because only part of Major League Baseball is partaking. Obviously, the Yankees and Giants have today off. Then there's only 8 games for tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it looks like everyone would play. And then on all but one team, I think, maybe. No, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Yeah, all teams play on Saturday. And then on Sunday, there are a couple games missing. That's the only conundrum heading into the schedule for opening days, right? So, but man, we could watch some of these games. Like I said, there's a lot of baseball that we are planning on watching heading into today. All right. So let's just get started with the Cincinnati Reds. Okay. Um, Let me get right down into it. I gotta find it. We learned earlier this week that Nick Lodolo was going to end up on the IL. He is on the 15-day IL. Okay. Hunter Green is on a 60-day IL. Caleb Ferguson on a 15-day IL. So the concept is that we are starting our season off with a couple of injuries. Now the good news is that we have depth that we can replace those injuries with. The bad news is that our depth isn't that great. So each time a player has to be placed on the IL, which calls for an opportunity for someone to step up, it forces it, how do I best put it? We run out of options eventually. And so that's where my fear comes into the season. Is can we keep up with the injuries that we see? But Terry Francona yesterday afternoon, the Cincinnati Reds has released their opening day roster. As far as the pitchers go, we see Andrew Abbott, Graham Ashcraft, Brock Burke, Chase Burns, Jose Franco, Pierce Johnson, Rhett Lauder, Sam Maul, Emilio Pagan, Connor Phillips, Tony Santillan, Brady Singer, and Brandon Williamson. Now, expected where things are expected from, Andrew Abbott will get the opening day. Saturday, we're expected to see Brady Singer, followed by Rhett Lauder on Sunday. Chase Burns expected to go on Monday against the Pirates, and then Brandon Williamson against the Pirates on Tuesday before the rotation flips back over. Now, that means we add an extra guy to the bullpen. The original plan at the beginning of the week was to have Brandon Williamson, the 8th spot out of the bullpen, but realistically coming in to help fill in as a starter as needed. But he wasn't announced as your 6-man rotation. So we obviously know that the closing position goes to Emilio Pagan. The setup probably looking at Tony Santillan and Pierce Johnson. You got Brock Burke in there along with Sam Maul. But the new guy that we see is Jose Franco. So welcome to the big leagues, my friend. Jose Franco. The position players for the Reds. We got Will Benson, Ellie De La Cruz, TJ Friedel, Key Brian Hayes, Nathaniel Lowe, Noelvi Marte, Matt McClain, Dane Myers, Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, Sal Stewart, Gino Suarez, and Jose Trevino. And so I'm expecting to see Sal Stewart at first, Matt McClain at second, Ellie De La Cruz at shortstop, and Key Brian Hayes at third. Spencer Steer in left, TJ Friedel in center, Noelvi Marte in right, Gino Suarez as your DH, Trevino, Myers, Lowe, and Benson coming off the bench in situational hitting. I've gotten a chance to hear my fair share of the ups and downs of where people feel like this organization, well, why didn't we call up JJ Bleday? And don't get me wrong, it is a bit deceiving when you sign a man to a contract to a major league contract, and they find themselves outplayed by a walk-on in Nathaniel Lowe, and they have to start the season off in AAA. And one of the reasons that Terry Francona did that was because they wanted to see him play on a daily basis instead of coming off the bench. And a part of me understands that. But yet again, if I was JJ Bleday, I'd kind of be a little bit upset. I mean, hey, you're paying me either way, but it doesn't look good for me if I'm not on that major league roster. Whether or not I'm playing, I'm still there contributing. And Bleday's kind of had a better spring compared to Benson and Nathaniel Lowe in comparison. So why doesn't he make the cut? Well, so Nathaniel Lowe is an everyday first baseman. Yes, he comes with a left-handed at-bat, and I don't know how long the Reds will actually entertain this idea of Nathaniel Lowe. But the concept is that, you put him up against right-handed pitching. This gives an equal balance of playing time for Sal Stewart at first in righty-lefty situations. The other thing that I'd also pay attention to is that you look about, well, what do you need to do is going to replace second, third, and short? Well, Gino's at third. Matt McClain, if he needs a day off, Sal Stewart could fit right in. And if Ellie De La Cruz needs a day off, Matt McClain could slide over to short and Sal Stewart could play second. It's not a ideal configuration, so to speak, when it comes down to this roster. But all I know is that this honestly is something that we could at least start at the season off and see how things go. Now, Benson's, better off coming off the bench. I don't see him as an everyday starter. Dane Myers, I think I would like to see more probably lefty-righty situations, especially, giving TJ Friedl that center, time off in center field. I mean, we have a good defensive and offensive front. It's just plugging in and placing, and we'll talk about the starting lineup here in just a moment to today's game. But that rotation, I think, is the most fear of. Compared to what I saw back during spring training, I wasn't very happy with what I saw. Okay? And I want to see a little bit more come out of, I need to see more consistency coming out of that rotation. The one thing I don't want to do is to give the bullpen headache. And I don't need them to come in the fifth inning or in the sixth inning and have to play and have 8 guys going, 4 or 5 innings each and every day. It's the start of a new season. I understand that the expectations is to give them about 2 to 3 starts through the rotation. Hopefully by then we see Nick Lodolo come back. Hopefully by then we see Caleb Ferguson come back. But then the expectation is going to be there by the beginning of May. Well, look, I need you to go a solid 6-7 innings. The whole concept is to progress from what we did last year. Now, Terry Francona, my man, the Hall of Famer himself, at least future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, this is your year number 2. I'll give you all the credit where credit's due. You're away from the game from some time. You come back. This is the first year of your ball club last season. I understand that. There is no reason now. The pressure is on. There's no reason now we can't go back to the postseason with ease. I'm not saying that we have to win a division, but it should be a comfortable going back to the postseason, at least keeping ourselves contingency. We build another year with chemistry among these guys. You got Suarez, you got Cruz out there. The other thing is that we got to pay attention to our players a little bit more. I'm sorry, but we would have avoided a lot of this situation if Hunter Green spoke up on his injury last season, especially during the offseason. It would have been a little bit better if we learned about Ellie De La Cruz to understand and not, scrutinize what he's brought to the table at the end of last year. Because there was a lot of negative talk that we couldn't complete that season last year. But I expect this year to be a lot different. And it needs to be a lot different. If not, this doesn't work out, we got to go back to the drawing boards. I'd be upset. I don't know about you, but we have the potential. We have the players to go and may have a winning record. This isn't a team where the expectation is just not to finish in last place. The expectations and the goals is not just to finish with a 500 record. That was last year. This year is the expectation of going to the wild card, challenging the Chicago Cubs, overcoming our dreadful knot against the Milwaukee Brewers, showing Pittsburgh Pirates who's the better team despite the offseason moves. Definitely, if we lose and have a losing record to the St. Louis Cardinals, everyone thinks of us as a laughingstock in the NL Central. We have a chip on our shoulder. The job's not done yet. We had a taste of what postseason would like, and we had a taste of what a good baseball team is capable of with the Dodgers, who rightfully won the World Series. So we know what is going to take, and our first opponents are going to be against the Boston Red Sox, a team who made it to the wild card, who has a really good pitching rotation, and coming out of the bullpen as well. We got to work the count. We have to, get to the bullpen early on. We got to capitalize and utilize what we have given. Ellie De La Cruz strikes out often. Suarez strikes out often. That's why we keep them apart, so we can separate those strikeouts. But with runners on base and Sal Stewart comes out or Suarez comes out, there should be no reason why we can't drive them in. Get the fans excited. Because I'll tell you this, their rotation looks a lot better than their lineup. You got Contreras, you got Duran and Story and Anthony, but you look down beyond that, I mean, you don't really have too much excitement to at least say that the Reds can't hold themselves comfortably pitching-wise. All right, let's get down to business. 4:10's the first pitch for today's game at Great American Ballpark. You got Garrett Crochet, a left-handed pitcher, coming and being called upon for the Boston Red Sox to get the opening day nod. He will go up against left-handed pitcher Andrew Abbott. The spotlight is yours, my friend. The eyes are on you. You want it? Here you go. Let's take it. Today's lineup for the Boston Red Sox. All lineups are subject to change prior to the first pitch. Leading off in left field is Ramon Anthony. Trevor Story batting second. At shortstop, Jarren Duran. The DH batting third. Wilson Contreras batting fourth. At first base, you have Caleb Durbin at third base batting fifth. Rowler Abreu in right field batting sixth. Then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa batting seventh. At second base. Carlos Navarez doing the catcher behind the plate. He'll be batting eighth. And who is he? Rafaela. Cedena Rafaela, excuse me. He'll be playing center field and batting ninth. For the Cincinnati Reds, batting leadoff in center field is TJ Friedl. Batting second at second base is Matt McLain. Batting third at shortstop is Ellie De La Cruz. Batting cleanup at first base is Sal Stewart. The designated hitter batting fifth is Eugenio Suarez. Left field batting sixth is Spencer Steer. Batting seventh, doing the catching, Tyler Stevenson. Batting eighth In right field, Noel V. Marte, and batting ninth, the third baseman is Key Brian Hayes. Looks very identical. If not, I think it is identical for what I had in MLB The Show, which, by the way, starts at the same time. If you guys can't catch the Reds game today, please feel free to head over to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, where we are beginning our MLB The Show franchise mode as we play as the Cincinnati Reds throughout the course of the 2026 season in the game as we kick off our opening days, just like the Reds in Major League Baseball. We have a doubleheader today on to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel as MLB The Show franchise mode will host the Boston Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds, following up the Arizona Diamondbacks and the defending World Series champions Los Angeles Dodgers. That's all today. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have those notifications on as opening weekend continues tomorrow. The Athletics and the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:07. A doubleheader on Saturday as the Reds and Red Sox continue their 3-game series with Game 2 at 4:10, followed by the Dodgers and Tigers. Then we have the Sunday doubleheader where the 3-game finale finishes off in Great America Ballpark against the Red Sox and Reds. That first pitch is at 1:40, followed by Sunday Night Baseball between the Cleveland Guardians and the Seattle Mariners. For more information, stay up to date by sharing, and subscribing to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Also, we'll have some more content coming to you hopefully next week. But, man, Cincinnati Reds ready to play some baseball. All right. So, let's just get into this as we move right along into our show. Counting down. Excuse me. All right. So, Cincinnati Reds, let's say, have had some new interest levels heading into the new year. One of the things that they have going on is some new foods. We'll take a look at that here at the end of our show. But here's the prepare if you guys are looking to head out to Great American Ballpark. Okay? We're going to look at the new foods now. That's at the end. Let's do this. Got to go back. There we go. Here is the opening guide to every team's 2026 opening day matchup. This is an article put together by Brent McGuire and Shanthi Sape. I can't pronounce the last name. I apologize, but with opening day here as well. So, today's games, we talked about the Reds and the Red Sox, but later on, taking place coming up here at 1 o'clock, the Pirates and the Mets at 1:15. Paul Skeens will be on the mound taking on Freddie Peralta. This is going to be a really, really good match. Skeens will make his second opening day start after winning the 2025 NL Cy Young Award and helping Team USA to its second place finish in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. This will be Peralta's third straight opening day start, and his first with the Mets after being traded from Milwaukee to New York. Then, at 1:15, we have the White Sox and Brewers. For the White Sox, Shane Smith goes up on the mound as Jacob Mizorowski from Milwaukee. In something of a full circle moment, Smith will make his first career opening day start against the team that originally signed him. Smith was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Brewers in 2021, but was selected as a first-round pick in the 2024 Rule 5 draft by the White Sox. After the right-hander was left unprotected by Milwaukee, Mizorowski was the 2025 rookie sensation, and at 23 years and 357 days old coming opening day, will be the third youngest Emma Brewers pitcher to get this assignment. Only Ben Sheets in 2022 and Bill Parsons in 1972 were the younger when they started Milwaukee's opener. The Cubs and Nationals at Wrigley Field, we have Cade Savali for the Nationals, Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. It's been quite a journey for Savali, who returned to the majors last season after missing roughly 3 years due to injury. He'll make his first career opening day start. Boyd will make his third, but his first start with the Cubs after becoming the first-time All-Star last season. The Twins and the Orioles at 3:05. Joe Ryan will be on the mound for the Twins as Trevor Rogers for Baltimore. And we will see Ryan will start his second career opening day, first since 2022 after Pablo Lopez, who will miss all of 2026 after undergoing Tommy John surgery. Started 3 straight years from 2023 to 2025. For Rogers, a calendar year makes a big difference as he began the 2025 season in the minors before breaking out with a 1.1 ERA in 18 starts with Baltimore. His first opening day starts nod for Rogers. Red Sox, we were talking about Red Sox and Reds. Angels and Astros, Jose Soriano for the Angels taking on Hunter Brown. Soriano was draw his first opening day start nod after setting career high in starts 31, 169 innings, and a 3.0 roar last season. After finishing third in the AL Cy Young voting last season, Brown will get his first nod as opening day starter, which also helped by Framber Valdez's departure due to free agency. The Tigers and Padres, Tariq Schoolball taking on Nick Pivetta. Schoolball got the opening day assignment in 2024 and 2025 and proceeded to win the AL Cy Young both years. Could he do so again in 2026? The Tigers ace is entering his final year of the club's control and could be primed for yet another. Meanwhile, this will be the first opening day start for Pivetta, who went 13 for 5 with a 2.87 ERA and 31 starts for San Diego a year ago. The Rays and Cardinals, the Drew Rasmussen, taking on Matthew Liberatore for the Cardinals. This will be the first opening day start for both men since Chris Archer started 4 straight for the Rays from 2015 to 2018. Rasmussen has represented the 7th-rate pitcher to start opening day in an 8 years time span. St. Louis returned for Randy Arozarena in 2022 will become the Cardinals' first starter left-hander to start opening day since Donovan Osborne in 1991. The Rangers and Phillies at 4:15. We will see Nathan Eovaldi taking on Christopher Sanchez. This will be Eovaldi's 6th career opening day start and his 3rd straight start for the Rangers. Sanchez gets the call for the Phillies for the first time in his career after the lefty dominant to the second-place NL Cy Young Award finished in 2025. Sanchez, who is the first Latino to start opening day for the Phillies since Omar Deal in 2001. Tonight, we will see the Diamondbacks and Dodgers as Zach Gallen takes on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Gallen will draw his 4th straight start opening day after he re-signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks this offseason. Gallen's 4 opening day starts are tied with Brandon Wells for the second most such starts by the D-backs pitcher since Randy Johnson. First 6 starts. Yamamoto will get the call for the 2nd straight season after the right-handed finished 3rd in the NL Cy Young Award winning voting. And then we will see the Guardians and the Mariners. Tanner Bibby on the mound again, going up against Logan Gilbert. Gilbert gets a nod for his second straight opening day start. No small feat in the rotation that features names like Brian Wu, George Kirby, and Luis Castillo. Bibby was originally scheduled to be the Cleveland's opening day starter last season, but was scratched hours before first pitch due to an illness. He'll get a second chance at that. We'll talk about tomorrow's starters as the Athletics and Blue Jays will get the nod, Rockies and Marlins, Royals and Braves as well. Something that I didn't know, thanks to yesterday's ball game, was that that Oracle Park in San Francisco was the sixth home opener to start the season since their opening of the stadium in 2000. So since then, they've only started off at home for 6 years. Alrighty. They also, yesterday was the historical future of the ABS Challenge. All right. Yankee shortstop Jose Caballero triggered the first automatic ball strike challenge powered by T-Mobile in a big league game. Tapped his helmet in the fourth inning Wednesday against New York 7-0 win over San Francisco at Oracle Park. Caballero challenged home plate umpire Bill Miller's strike call on the Giants starter Logan Webb's sinker on the high inside part of the plate, and it was upheld. Caballero said, "I wanted to go for it. I thought it was a little high than what it showed, but at least it was close." Webb said, "It felt like a strike, first one of the year, so I'm glad it went out of the way." While the ABS is new to MLB, it's already familiar by fans and players. The system has been tested in minor leagues since 2022, and it was used in MLB spring training in 2025 and 2026. ABS challenge system tracks the precise location of each pitch related to the specific batter zone, which is calibrated to his height and measures to a fraction of an inch. It represents the hybrid model preventing human umpires for a vast majority of pitches while offering the mechanism to correct most obvious misses. I think it's going to be really good, Caballero said. We have a lot of guys who know the zone really well, and that's going to be the best part out of it, right? It's knowing the zone. And I think the conundrum for all this is going to be, well, how are we going to use it? Getting that underway. Do you use it early on? Do you use it later in the game? How do you give one to your pitchers, one to your batters? What selected batters are going to use them? This is something that a coach can't use as well. And this is you get 2 challenges per game. If you get it correct, you get to keep it. If you don't, you lose it. Once you lose it for the game, you don't get to back it till you get to extra innings. The point I'm trying to make is that it's going to be an additional strategy. I think early on in the season, early on in the next couple of days, losing. Where are we at? There we go. Let's try to get our cam back on. Anyways, let me just continue talking here. What are we doing? It is here. Let's go. Almighty. All right. The last couple minutes, of course, right? Let's see if we can jump in over here. Try to get this up and running and back up to date. Sorry, folks, for the camera cutting out in the last. There we go. Alrighty. Then let's let's see how this goes. Alrighty. Did that work? I think that worked. All right. I lost camera, had to open up a new page, open that back up, but we are back. So I apologize about that. But let's see. Only one way to test it, right, is to go to our YouTube page and follow along. All right. But anyways, this really brings different dynamic to the call of the game, so to speak. So we'll see how it happens. We'll let you know what the Reds also decide to do. But I did want to get into the biggest questions facing each team in 2026. So let's start off with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The biggest question is their rotation and if it could hold up. There's potential for disaster with this rotation. Zach Gallen's the most bad last season and signed a 1-year deal to try to reestablish his worth before diving back into free agency. Morel Kelly is 37. He's already dealing with back issues. Eduardo Rodriguez has has an ERA has been above 5 for both years in Arizona. Brandon Pfaadt has clobbered last season to the tune of a 5.25 ERA, and his career mark is now 5.13 over his 80 career starts. Burns will miss most of the season. Ryan Nelson was good last year, but what's the upside? A's? Probably not. So, will the rotation hold up for Arizona? The Athletics was a late surge real. One thing that we are but they got out to a late start last year. It wasn't enough to get anything done. Through June 1st, they had one of the worst records in team history, 23-40. It was 53-46 through the back half, trying to really get off to a good start and keep it that way. Then the Atlanta Braves' biggest question is, do they have enough depth to survive these injuries? Well, Spencer Swallenbach is at lost due to elbow burn spurs. Spencer Strider is oblique. Hurston Waldrep elbows burn spurs. And Joe Want torn ACL from the rotation alone. That's a lot of depth down before the season even starts. Can they keep the depth alive? Baltimore Orioles, will their homegrown hitters actually hit? We know what Pete Alonso could do. We know what Tyler Ward could do, and we've seen stuff out of Shane Baez and Chris Bassett. But what about Colton Cowser or Jackson Holliday and Heston Kazerted, Adley Rutschman or Jordan Westberg? We need to see a lot more performance of them. That's why I don't have them playing high in the division. Red Sox, do they have enough power? Great rotation, but where does their power strength run in the mix? Cubs, what will Bregman, and is that good enough? I don't know what happened again. The camera just keeps cutting out. Oh my goodness. All right, let's try this again. But we're going to continue. Cubs, what will Bregman provide? White Sox, will the rebuild take the next steps? Or will it just stay mute? The Reds, do they have enough offense? Which is obviously a big question to ask. There we go. Trying to get my Don't know what's going on. The Guardians, can they score enough runs? The Rockies, how many more games can they win? Biggest question is Tariq Schoolball. Last ride in Detroit. I what all right, let's see what. All right, I don't know what's going on. I do apologize for the technical error. We're just gonna finish off here, uh, this way apparently, but we got Tariq Schoolball. Then the Houston Astros. How does the rotation fare? Kansas City Royals will Jack Callanon be a hitter they need? Angels, what will be fun to watch? Uh, the Dodgers, what about a three-peat? Mariners, will they build their strong finish to a 2025 season? Can they once again survive the departure of multiple key contributors? That's the big question coming out of Milwaukee. Minnesota, is there a teardown complete? Or are they going to continue getting taken away players? Also, the Mets, will the turnover equal more wins? They put a lot of effort into the offseason. Will that equal more wins? Yankees, will they get what will they get from their injured pitchers? Phillies, how much will the young players contribute? The Pirates, when will the Connor Griffin era begin? Something we're waiting for. Cardinals, will the young core take the next steps to be this new St. Louis Cardinals team? Can the depth pieces step up in San Diego for the Padres? How does Tony Vitito hire work as a college manager? Can for Seattle take the next steps and go on to the World Series? The Tampa Bay Rays what can Junior Caminero do for the encore? For the Rangers, can the rotation carry them? Blue Jays, will all of that go away again, or will they be able to bounce back and have a repeat? For the Nationals, what would qualify as a successful season? There's questions coming out of all 32 ball clubs. And you want to focus, and we could dive deep tomorrow if you want, what the Reds have to focus on heading into this season. What are the questions that we ask in the NL Central? And all that fun stuff. The last thing I want to get to is that the Cincinnati Reds have had some really good foods coming to Cincinnati this year. Wanted to share with you a couple of them. You have the Queen City Classic Burger, which is it's double all beef smash burger topped with American cheese, special sauce, lettuce, tomato on a potato roll with fries. That's at the Fan Zone Food Hub near Section 130. Queen City Crunch Burger, double all beef smash burger topped with the peppermento cheese, crushed Grippo chips, and pickles on a potato roll bun and fries. Fan zone near section 130. The GLT, the Geta lettuce and tomato. Gleer's Geta patty with shredded lettuce, slice tomatoes, pickles, American cheese, and Warbur's horseradish aioli on slider buns. Food bars near section 129 and 416. Gleer's Geta nachos. Gleer's Geta crumbles with fanacho cheese sauce, chipotle sour cream, and pickled jalapenos over tortilla chips available at the food bar section 129 to 416. Stadium burnt ends. It's a bar at Southwest style sausage piece fried with the sweet barbecue rub and sauce, topped with pickled and red onion, and the white barbecue sauce Scouts Club at the Portolius near section 112. Man, that's a long. We have a long list. We have 14 of them. Let's keep on going to end the show. The Cincy's Heat. You got the Hempler's double smoked sausages with Italian braised peppers and onions and Wober's whole grain mustard on a hoagie roll. They were section 109. Hempler's jalapeno cheddar Cajun bowl. It's a Hempler's jalapeno cheddar sausage bites with sauteed peppers and onions on a dirty Cajun rice topped with the Cajun cream sauce, section 109. Smoked brisket, street corn bowl. That sounds good. Montgomery Inn smoked brisket with Mexican street corn, pickled red onions, jalapenos, cotijas cheese, and barbecue sauce. Mr. Red Smokehouse, section 138. The white chicken chili fry box, grilled chicken, hatch green chili queso, white beans, sour cream, pickled red onions, and cilantro on fries, section 137 and 534. Frito chili fry box, vegetable Frito chili, Francho cheese sauce, crushed Fritos, pickled jalapenos, and ranch sauce and fries, sections 137 to 534. We got the Tofrego tacos, 3 flour tortillas topped with chipotle shredded street tofu, jalapeno aioli, cilantro, pickled red onion, and cotija cheese, Scouts Club, and Los Rojas Tacos Cart. In one section's 128. The Ring and Rings boneless wings. Okay, that's a little tongue twister there. Boneless chicken wings with your choice of the garlic medium honey barbecue sauce, ranch, and blue cheese available upon request. A Food Hub, section 112 and 130. Baby Ruth brownie sundaes. Baby Ruth the chocolate brownies topped with soft served ice cream, caramel syrup, and whipped cream. At Rosie's Ice Cream Stand near section 132 and 415. And then, last but not least, we have the double play donut parfait. The 12 cinnamon sugar donuts with Hoy's made banana pudding, vanilla wafers, cinnamon toast crunch, whipped cream, and caramel sauce. Mr. Red's Smokehouse section near 139. You can check all that fun, great food out there. I actually want to try a couple of them. Heading at Great American Ballpark. Just another way to get out to the stadiums, enjoy some baseball. So, well, hey, baseball's here. We've made it to the end, and I got to say I'm excited. If you guys are watching the Finley Day Parade, great. Otherwise, you guys get ready for baseball. We'll come back and talk about the Reds game, what took place. Also, don't forget, we got Sweet 16 today and tomorrow. If you're still in the bracket, I love to hear what you guys have to say heading into tonight's game. And I'm excited. A lot of baseball here to come, and we're just getting underway. It's baseball season back, you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. We really enjoy your support. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Please have those notifications on so you don't miss a single episode. Follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram platforms, as well as our audio platforms. And until tomorrow, you guys enjoy Reds baseball, and we will see you guys to wrap up the week tomorrow at noon. Take care.